Hi, yeah, it's Jackie here from the LGFA. We're on another Zoom call this afternoon. I have a sister act, twin sisters from Donaghmoyne and Monaghan with me this afternoon. On the left-hand side, as I look on the screen, is Amy Garland and Lauren Garland in the red top, so viewers can distinguish them from Donaghmoyne and Monaghan as well. How are you, girls?
Grand, good, yeah, all
All
good.
good. Thanks for coming on. First and foremost, how are you doing? Because I believe you're both at St. Louis Carrickmacross, and this would have been your Leaving Cert year. So, Lauren, how have you managed to cope with all of that and the COVID-19 outbreak, and how has it impacted on you both?
Yeah, like when we heard that day we wouldn't be sitting at Leaving Cert, it was we're kind of glad because like being online with our teachers and stuff, it was hard for some of us to actually get going and learning stuff. Once we heard that it was cancelled, a lot of us were a bit happy about it. But then like you've got calculated grades now, and some people might like that, or some people be enjoyed, but enjoyed by it. Like yeah, so it's been hard, and it's also been easy at the same time.
Okay, how have you found it, Amy?
Yeah, no, like we what was it the last time we heard from our teacher was in March time. It was kind of all sudden happened on one like Thursday afternoon. We were just sitting in classes like, and our break time came, and everybody was just all the rest of the years were just like shouting, really happy about it that we were supposed to be getting this 3 month holiday. I think most of the 6 years were kind of disappointed in a way because we don't get that feeling that we actually sat and leaving cert. It's more like oh geez, we're going to college now, like we haven't really finished that milestone in our life.
Sure.
Like everybody says you sit your leaving cert and you know you're going to college. This is kind of we really it's like a don't know stage. So then like we were sitting with our teachers, as Lauren said, like for 2 months, and then the even of the not knowing what we were going to do with it, if because we weren't really finished some of our courses, and it was hard trying to learn all that just through email, like through emails and everything.
And what have you got your heart set on doing in college, and where would you like to go, Lauren?
I'd hopefully like to do nursing at the either in I have DCU, I have Letterkenny, and I also have Dundalk, and then I've just got some things underneath that as well.
Okay, and yourself, Amy?
I well the last like I want to do my first one is sports science and health in DCU. I want to do physiotherapy, so and then I've done Dundalk down as well and Letterkenny for physiotherapy. So I do.
Oh, would you like to both end up in the same college, ideally?
We were actually talking about it. We hear a lot of sisters playing against each other from different colleges. It'd be hard for me and Amy to play against each other because we know each other so well. We were like, if I ever have to mark you now, I will absolutely die because we just know each other too well. We'll just play so bad. So we would because it just take us both out of our own game. Like hopefully, yeah, we'd like to go to the same college and it'd be nice. But we're not really. Our heart isn't set on going to the same college. We just
Okay.
get to get it with them.
Okay, well, we wish you well because obviously it's quite an uncertain time, as you say. So we wish you well. In terms of football, girls, which is the primary reason I brought you on today, two very, very talented young players, starring with Donaghmoyne at club level, and it's your first full senior season on the Monaghan panel as well, the senior panel. You were both on the team that reached the minor A All Ireland final with Monaghan as well last year, which was a significant achievement. Unfortunately, you ran into a very good Cork team on the day, Lauren.
Yeah, we did. They were absolutely standing, and when I've heard about they've been there in finals like 3 or 4 years that minor team, and I think they slipped the last hurdle 2 years ago before they played us against Galway. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, brilliant game
and
it was. Yeah.
yeah, and they were out for blood. They were hungry, ready to play us, and look, it was a great experience for all the girls even getting to an All Ireland final. We hoped at the start of the year that an Ulster final was our aim, and to get over Cavan was the big aim for us because we could never seem to beat them, and beating Cavan was immense for us. Like,
Um, we had you up for a Player of the Month award last year as well, Lauren, which we were delighted to present you with. And the two of you came up to for the day. It was lovely to see you both. Who's the eldest? You're both twins, obviously, but who came first?
Lauren's 5 minutes older. Yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah, never let it down. You know.
Oh, so come here. Yeah, oh, you're obviously joined at the hip and so close. What was life like growing up in the Garland house?
Yeah, so me and Lauren, there's six of us, six kids in the house. So there was a lot of playing, a lot of fighting usually. But usually it just end up like on a Wednesday night, we'd end up in the kickabout out in the garden, just playing soccer matches with our neighbours and everything. It was good, yeah, because it kind of helped us along with our, like, we wanted to play football because our brothers were playing football, our neighbours were playing football. So that's how we got into playing Gaelic, like, at a young age, because we always wanted to do what Shane and David and were doing, like.
So there was that love of sport in the family, Amy. Yeah,
Yeah, Mum and Dad. Mum was a Carrick woman by heart, and Dad was a Clanny man. So yeah, there was the love of sport there. We used to, when we were younger, all six of us would go down and watch like Mum's football games, like, and used to like just kick about. Always bring a foot. We always used to bring a football with us to games and everything. So it was very good.
brilliant. Lauren, did Mum and Dad ever ask or ever talk to you about how they met, or what was the
They never go.
how did love blossom?
They were childhood sweethearts. They met in school, and Dad used to work in a pub down in Carrick, and Mum used to work there and meet him there.
Brilliant. So she always had a reason to go there.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
How is she?
yeah, she's grand. Yeah, she's doing good. So she is. She's working away there. So
Excellent, excellent stuff. And guys, this year when football shut down, obviously Monaghan were going quite well in the league. So to have that taken away from you must have been disappointing as well at the same time.
uh, yeah, it was disappointing because probably like our first year we were really ready to go at it, and just it was probably our first year playing with the likes of the older girls and everything. I know some of them play for Donaghmoyne, but like the other girls like Ellen and Laura, like it was kind of disappointing then that it ended so soon and we didn't really get to play like our championship or anything like that. I know we're getting it at the November time, but it was just hard not playing any of our like Ulster finals or anything.
Are you looking forward to making that championship debut? I know you've played some league football, Lauren, but to taste senior championship action, how much of a prospect is that for you?
Yeah, I actually can't wait to play Championship in Monaghan. We're playing against two good, brilliant teams, Tipperary and Galway,
It's a good
and
group.
it is a tough group. Yeah, I can't wait to see what it's like. Obviously, with Donaghmoyne, you're practically playing that most times, but to play with other girls would be brilliant.
Absolutely. What was life like coming through school then and playing football at schools level, Amy? How did you find that?
Schools was very good. Our first years, when me and Lauren were both starting in first year, under 14s, we did a good one. Probably throughout the school, we probably reached an Ulster final every year, which was good for our school. And probably just fell short at the last hurdle, so we did lost by a point. Just fell short, and as well. Like our school probably more into the football, but last year our basketball was coming up through the school,
Yeah,
so that's good. Then just have to have something else to play as well as playing football.
because it's not just football that you play, Lauren. You like other sports as well, obviously.
Yeah, me and Amy loved playing basketball. It was not like it was a bit of a break from, you didn't have to be in the football head the whole time. You didn't have to be constantly thinking about football. You could go and play a basketball game, and our managers were both really respectful of being in, we playing basketball and football throughout school.
And Amy, the skills are transferable as well, very much between the two sports.
Yeah, the skills are very similar. So they are like our endurance from the football field helps us on the basketball court. Our hard tackling, I would say, or maybe a bit of roughness on the football field helped us with basketball as well. And the basketball, it just let us take a breather, as Lauren said, from just the football side of it. We love the sport football. It was just something different to do. We wanted to do something different.
County champions as well, Lauren, with Donaghmoyne, senior champions. Are you back at club level now, back training?
Yeah, we are. We're back training Tuesdays and Fridays with Anne-Marie. The tough training sessions now. County finals. Yeah, I still get. We all still get nervous when it comes to county final. Like with our 16 in a row, like it does become very nerve wracking when it comes to county final, because you've got that.
pedestal or high like pedestal you got to keep the 16 in a row, and the girls have all done the 16 in a row, and it's now time for us to keep going. Like,
Yeah, because there's a lot of competition in Monaghan too, Lauren. I mean, it's not you don't take any championship that you win for granted.
no, you've got O'Neill's there coming in from intermediate. They're flying, like, and Latin have done the junior and the intermediate, and they're all really competitive. And we definitely don't go out to the field and think that we're just going to win it. Like,
I've seen Amy. I've even seen Amy Vale playing against Donaghmoyne in sevens, and there's even a bite to the sevens. There's a huge rivalry there.
Yeah, it's a huge rivalry to the sevens. It's every time we play Emmyvale, it's always uncertainty what way it's going to turn out. The sevens blitzes now, they're I love the seven All Ireland blitzes. That's when we usually play them, and they're seriously good sevens. So we don't take nothing for granted when we play them.
A real respect, I'm sure, a healthy rivalry between the two clubs, Lauren.
Yeah, without doubt. Like, when you come to, obviously when you go to county training, you'd have the girls there from Emmyvale, and what happens on the pitch when you're playing against clubs, like, it just happens on the pitch, and that's it. You don't take it to county. I have huge respect for all Emmyvale players, but once you get on the pitch, do it then. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just when I put up a social post earlier on, just talking about talking to you later on in the day. I did mention, you're two players with bright futures ahead of you, but you've already achieved such an amount in your careers, Lauren. I mean, you've already packed so much football in at this stage.
Yeah, me and Amy have had good careers so far, but we tend to not think about it too much because no one remembers really what happens in the past, what you do in the future. Me and Amy still go out in each game. You're all the same players on the day, like.
And how would you describe your styles of play, Amy? Obviously, two different styles of play as well.
Yeah, between myself and Lauren, like, Lauren's really like, she like likes to defend, and I like to be the forward. But like past few years now, we kind of reversed them roles. Like, Lauren's been playing the forward usually now, and I've been playing the back. But yeah, it's good to get something different. Like, as I say, like, if you ever played back before, you know how a forward thinks because you're thinking about yourself and how they play. Yeah, it's really good to get something different.
I mean, what do you remember of the semi-final last year? Because you scored heavily in that All-Ireland Minor A semi-final. What are your memories of that game?
Oh, my memories going down in the bus, everybody was just so ecstatic. Like, it was just so good to be in the bus and, like, hearing everyone just like, yeah, we're ready for the game. Like, we're heads on, and walking out in the bus and walking into the dress rooms, everything just settled in, and it was like, this is time to play football. So it is. Yeah. And when we were on the pitch, it was like, you just put your heart and soul into it. It's just the passion that all the players have is just unbelievable. Like, we've been playing football with that county minor team for the past 7 years, and we've never went to a stage like we did last year. It was just so good to get the atmosphere in, but we were just solely focused on playing that game, and that's all that mattered to us.
And Lauren, were you conscious of the historical aspect that it was 20 years since Monaghan had been in a Minor A final, or did that just occur to you after the final whistle and maybe when the reports were written up on the game?
I actually didn't know there was 25 years until someone told me it, and I was like, damn, like, how is it 25 years? And we were looking back at all the great teams that were in Monaghan, and they just couldn't step into that. And it was a bit nerve-wracking knowing that 25 years was a long time. But once Amy said, like, once we go in the dressing room, it was serious mode, and everyone was playing for each other, and it was a great atmosphere that day.
Amy, can I ask you, just in terms of when you're preparing for a game, you two, would you talk much to each other about it, or would you like to maybe keep to yourselves as the day comes closer, or would you openly discuss what might be coming your way on the day, or would you just like to do your own individual preparation?
Probably like after the All-Ireland semi, I'd say like the day after that, me and Lauren would talk about the game, would say, oh, we have Cork in the final, like, they're going to be a good team. We wouldn't really much dwell on the game. We'd probably prep for training, prep for the game more likely. Probably the night before, a bit of jitters, but you kind of solely have to think, like, we've put in the hard work, and we've done everything we can do. It's out of our hands. It's in our hands now to do what we can do.
Lauren, what are your hopes and dreams for the years to come? What would you like to achieve with club and county?
I'd like for club to get back to an All-Ireland final. Like it's been 2 years now since we've been in an All-Ireland final now, and being only 15 back when we got to the All-Ireland final in 2016, the day it just went past me like the whole day. I would love to get back to an All-Ireland final and like really take in an All-Ireland final day. With county, I'd hope to, like, we were hoping for an Ulster final, but like it's really now we could get into an All-Ireland semi with the way things are going. I'd love to play in Croke Park and to play against top players and everything. Like, to play against top players is the main aim.
Like, you're in an era at the moment, you know, and I've been watching a lot of the club football over the last few years. Fox Cab in Leinster, you've got Carrickmacross, Kilkerran, Clonberne in Connacht, and obviously Mourneabbey ruling the roost down in Munster. So it's a really competitive era as well, Lauren, to try and, if you want to try and win back that All-Ireland title, you're going to have to get past some good teams to do it.
Yeah, like that Galway team is coming up through the ranks now. Look, we just want to push forward now and get to an All-Ireland final again. Fair play to all the other teams; they're doing things right, but we're just thinking about ourselves now and getting there.
Amy, what's it like to be back training? Because obviously you can do all the individual work that behind the scenes, but nothing quite prepares you for getting back onto the field of play.
Yeah, no, you're a bit rusty now. You probably haven't put on the boots for about 3 months at this stage. But probably that first game we played, it was hard because you're not really prepared for the run up and down the fields or anything, or you'd be heavy, like your legs just be heavy just from that first day back. Like, but it's so enjoyable to get back on the field to play with it's like our family. So it is playing with all the girls is just class.
And how did you keep going during lockdown and all of that, Lauren? Was there Zoom sessions? Was there WhatsApps? What was happening?
Yeah, we were talking with Donaghmoyne ladies, and we had Zoom calls with Amanda herself was doing a lot of Zoom classes. A lot of girls participated in that, and the county was also giving us things to do. Me and Amy would do a lot of running mostly around the roads, but we'd get in for a workout here and there when we were over lockdown.
Who's the faster runner, Amy?
I'd say Lauren just beats me by just a little bit, and I'll give her the credit for that. She can have it.
Is she right, Lauren? Is she? I'm sure you're happy enough to hear that.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised she didn't say herself there, but
there's an unbelievable bond between the two of you, obviously. To sum it up, I mean, to have two high achievers, and you're both twins. What's that like, Amy? There's obviously a huge love between you as well, and you look out for each other so much as well. So what's it like to have Lauren, on your side and backing you up as well, but both in life and on the field of play?
Yeah, no, probably joint at the hip mostly, but then when it comes to the football field, like if anything happens to one of us, the other one's in there, like getting on, like giving out or something. Yeah, no, because we'd always it's someone to talk to about the games. Like if something didn't go wrong for you, you'd I'd ask Lauren oh geez, something didn't happen for me today. Like what did I do wrong? It's more encouragement we have for each other. It's we just give each other the encouragement to keep doing it.
Super. And Lauren, I know you're not one to dwell on past achievements, but what would you look back on so far as the highlight of your career to date?
Probably last year in general was a good year. Overall, getting to the minor All-Ireland in 25 years, winning back the Ulster double. That whole year in general was quite good for me, winning October Player of the Month, and I probably consider that a good year for me.
Yeah, brilliant. And Amy, yourself?
I'd say same as Lauren, probably the Monaghan minors, that win. I didn't get to play the Donaghmoyne's Ulster finals, I was kind of disappointed, but probably the first year with Donaghmoyne ladies was a good highlight, I think. because it brought me and Lauren on as players. Like, we were 15-year-olds going in and thinking, geez, we're over our heads here. So yeah, all the other players, like Amanda was there, Sharon was there, we're like, we've no hope of doing what they do. But now since we've worked with them for like 4 years now, we've stepped into that role a wee bit of kind of being there with them, and it's very good for us.
Yeah, I know that shows a lot of maturity, because you've kind of preempted my next question, Lauren, in that Monaghan have probably gone through a little bit of a lean time in recent years, and they're probably relying on young players coming through from that minor team and other young players coming through as well to supplement the more established players that are at senior level, some who have drifted away as well. So it does appear that Monaghan are getting back on track, Lauren.
Yeah, that minor team, there's a lot, about six or eight of us down now from the minor team onto the senior team, and we're just there to really push the older girls and make them want to play hard. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and Amy, who would you admire in the world of LGFA? Other players from other counties. You've seen what Dublin have done over the last 3 years, winning 3 in a row. The Cork teams that went before. Was there anybody that you particularly admired, even within your own county?
With my own county, I've kind of admired probably the senior ladies, like nearly like most of the senior ladies, like the Courtney sisters, Amanda, Ella McCarr and Teeny. They're all just really like just outstanding players that play this sport for the passion of it. So I really admire that. So I do. But probably like I'd say the county, like you have the likes of Aisling Maloney is absolutely unreal. Noelle Healy, the Dublin players, the Cork players. They're just all astounding for the game.
And Lauren, that's the standard you guys have to get to, and you're not daunted by that in any shape or form.
No, we'll take that now with a pinch of salt, hopefully getting up to their standards. Aisling Maloney's doing real good things for LGFA, promoting a lot of stuff, and that's kind of where me and Amy want to be able to get LGFA up there. Like,
any particular other players that you admire, Lauren, when you look around the country?
I like Sinead Goldrick is a high quality player. I like her. Amy Ring was I remember my first my second All-Ireland semi-final. I marked Amy Ring and I was just like, oh my god. I'm marking Amy Ring, like, but Amy, like, and minute
Foxrock Cabinteely, yeah.
Yeah, minute the whistle blew, then it was all serious heads then after that.
So how have you managed, apart from obviously getting back club training recently and that, how have you managed to fill your time during these last few months in general, without school, without football? What have you been up to?
Kind of just like, probably as I said, the 2 months we were kind of really stuck into the books. We were probably trying to learn off things in them upcoming weeks. We're probably just we just go outside, probably kick around football, shoot some basketball and everything, just to keep ourselves occupied. We tend to relax because it's not very often me and Amy get a break from playing football or basketball. It tends to go whole year round. You'd be off for 2 weeks for Christmas and then be back in the county. So when there was a break, me and Amy definitely took at least a month off, time-wise, just relaxing.
Did you feel refreshed after it then, Lauren?
Yeah, you came back with completely clear heads. It was a new year. Like, you're definitely thinking, like, thank God I got a little bit of rest and now I'm back to full strength. Like,
and Lauren, you were as Amy's pointed out there, you were studying away still. Like, there was so much uncertainty around the Leaving Cert. Would it happen? Would it not happen? So you had to prepare as if it was going to happen.
Yeah, and it was hard, but like, obviously there was people who had to make harder decisions whether the Leaving Cert was going ahead or not going ahead, and it was just, we hoped that in time that they got us, like, to tell us that the Leaving Cert is cancelled in good time, because we could have been studying right up until we were meant to sit the exams, and then they go, the exams are cancelled, and that would have been really annoying. But they got to us in enough time to tell us that there will be no Leaving Cert.
Okay. And Amy, forgive my ignorance on this, because I'm not I don't know the ins and outs of it, but what happens now? When do you get the grades, or what are the next steps for you in that regard?
Yeah, so they was put up there about 3 weeks ago. Our school sent a text saying that Leaving Cert results will be up in September,
Okay.
August, September time. I think it's September the 11th is our first round of CO. So hopefully that doesn't change, because you kind of have your heart set on knowing. It's like it's the not knowing that it's annoying kind of.
Yeah.
Because everybody else gets there in August time, and we're kind of waiting till September. You kind of just want to know at this stage what's going to happen.
People has to get you have to know if you're going to Dublin or Letterkenny or anywhere to get accommodation. We quite hard when it's so pushed back now, and people's on about starting in October. We haven't heard anything if there is colleges starting or not starting.
Okay, it's quite uncertain still for you, but you have a big few months ahead now. You've got that on your plate. You've got club football on your plate, and you've got an All-Ireland series to look ahead to. So it's going to be busy, Lauren.
Yeah, it's going to be really busy, but our managers with county and with club are really supportive if we need time off to think about our Leaving Cert or to think about stuff. They'll give us the time off, and they're really good with each other. They'll not have us doing too much kind of training, or when we get back in November, the club will understand that we have kind of training to deal with.
Sure.
And the county's really good now that we have club to deal with. They're letting us with our club at the moment.
Okay, well, we look forward to watching you in action with club and county later on in the year. So how is all the family, Amy? All keeping well and coping well with everything in over the last few weeks and months?
Yeah, all doing well. All back to work. Myself and Lauren included. We're all back to work now. Just thanks be to God, we have work to think about, and the boys are back training with the Donaghmoyne men, so they have that to think about as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, the lads are obviously looking to make a huge impact in the championship as well, Lauren.
Yeah, they're taking it one step at a time. They've in a scheme now on Saturday, so they're gearing up for that match to give it a good rattle now at senior.
Yeah, because there's so much talent in the family, Amy. There's so much sport and talent right across your family.
Yes, like I said, the boys have done they've done minor double. David's captain last year of the senior Donaghmoyne team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gotten the player of the year for DCU and everything, and Shane's there as well with the minors and everything, doing the doubles, going on to Ulster campaigns and everything.
Talented family. Long may it continue, folks. I wish you well, and it's great talking to you today. My very special guest, and we will see you later on in the year, please God, all going to plan with club and county. The Garland twins from Donaghmoyne and Monaghan, Amy and Lauren. Thanks so much for coming on today, girls.
Thank you very much.